Here are 5 things that I've learned about fitness in my 20 years of training at 35 years old. In the last 20 years of training, being in the gym, learning about myself and my body and how I react to certain training, these are just 5 things that I think are fairly important, not only for me, but can be also important for those that are fairly new to the training world or have been training for a few years and you're kind of starting to feel that you're hitting a plateau. So these are in no particular order. Not one does not supersede the other one in any way coming from me. These are just things that I think about and I think are important to give back to the fitness community and could be helpful in your journey if you're finding yourself in a position of you're struggling, you're hitting kind of a wall, you don't know what the next steps are, you don't even really know where to look because you just don't have the right guidance, or you just feel the information that you're finding online is very skewed and kind of just all over the place. Number one is going to be keeping your training, like you need to be deliberate. There needs to be a purpose and a plan. So if you go into just exercise, you go into the gym for no other reason than just to move and exercise, yes, that's good. But if you wonder why you're not getting stronger, you're not getting faster, your cardio is lacking, it's because you are not being deliberate with your training. All of your goals should be specific, so you should have a specific goal. You should be able to measure that goal. It needs to be attainable, it needs to be realistic, and it also needs to be able to be done in a timely manner. If you want to lose 20 pounds, you can say, I want to lose 20 pounds, right? Well, what does that mean? In what time frame are you going to actually lose 20 pounds? Is it going to be in the next 6 months? Is it going to be in the next year? Is it going to be in the next 2 years, right? So if that's your goal, then that's a good goal, but how are you going to measure that goal? What are you going to do? Are you going to measure how many pounds you lose a week? Are you going to do how many pounds you lose in a month? Are you going to track your food, right? Like you have to be able to track these things. You cannot just say, I want to do XYZ and just magically think that XYZ will happen. Number 2 on this list is you can train too much and actually cause yourself to regress. So something that I have done in the past is when you're new to training, almost anything that you do, especially when it comes to lifting weights, running, and all that stuff, your body is going to go through basically adaptation. It's going to adapt to that new stimulus that it's probably never had before if you're very new to exercise. So with that, you can kind of make mistakes along the way and you're still gonna get that benefit. But if you're somebody you've trained for many years and you are not you're doing too much, eventually you can start to cause like a backwards feeling in your training. For example, I trained really hard last week, went to go kind of try to do a very similar training regimen yesterday, and I felt very fatigued. I wasn't very motivated. I'm starting to kind of draw back on the training a little just because I know that I'm starting to kind of hit that overreaching status of my training cycle, and if I am to try to power through, it's going to cause me more grief. And ways to kind of understand, like, how do you know if you're kind of doing too much, right? One, you'll notice in your sleep quality, you won't feel as rested. Throughout the day, you might feel a little bit more fatigue. You can possibly gain weight, like you're just storing more like weight in your midsection. You just feel more bloated, more inflammation, and just like your overall stress, right? So you could be a little bit more edgy. You could feel like things are irritating you more. These are just things that your body's trying to tell you, hey, you're doing too much. And all of these things are like a protective measure so that you don't go through and continue to push through those things. It's good every once in a while in your training to work through fatigue. It's like I said, there's an adaptation to some of this stuff. But if you do it too much, you're basically destroying your central nervous system, and the long-term effects of that are serious. I've done it. It does not end well for you, and it's extremely hard to recover from when you do it. So just remember, your body's going to give you warning signs. One of the big ones is if you have like 2 bad training cycles in a row where you're just like, I'm doing like 30% of the weight I did last week and I'm struggling, then it's time to take a listen to your brain, listen to your body, and step back and readjust and reassess what you're trying to do. Now, this one's a little bit more of a controversial topic, but I truly believe in it, is a deload week. And that's going from, for example, if you're somebody who's lifting super heavy, you're hitting PRs or close to a PR, and you've just been going hard in the paint, and you go to lift, you feel that your knees are feeling sticky, you feel like your muscles just aren't performing the way that they are. This goes kind of back to number 2, which is you can be training too much. So taking that opportunity to go into a deload, so maybe drop the weight to 30%, 40% of what you were lifting the previous week, upping, your repetitions, kind of doing more of like an endurance-based thing, but you're basically taking all that load stress and you're just kind of working through. You're getting that good blood flow. One, it's good for your endurance, which you should be working on anyways, to be a well-rounded athlete or just a well-rounded fitness individual. So taking a deload week is going to make you stronger on the back end. You may think like, oh, like I'm not really lifting that hard, like there's no way. Well, remember, hitting those heavier weights is actually makes you weaker in that moment, because you're basically damaging that muscle. You're creating stress on the muscle, you're putting stress on your body. So, and remember, the body doesn't know whether it's good stress or bad stress. Stress is stress. So don't get it twisted when it comes to the whole idea that, oh yeah, I'm putting my body under, loads and doing this. It doesn't know whether you're stressing out because there's somebody coming after you, or you're stressing out because, you're just working out really hard. So take advantage of those deload weeks. You'll recover, you'll repair. It's kind of like active recovery in itself, but it's deliberate, it's specific, and you will get better and you will come out on the other side stronger. Number 4 is, if your training in general should be specific, right? It needs to have a goal. Now, it could be a goal that you want to hit and then you just want to maintain, and that's where you're happy. You've achieved your ultimate end goal, and now you're just going to be maintaining. Personally, I have goals of wanting to lift heavier, but also not doing too much to where I'm injured all the time. I do have injuries from the military, so training around those and making sure that I'm training to be more of the longevity, quality of life, feeling better, but also being strong. If I'm in a block of work for a week that says, hey, I'm lifting 80 to 90% of my 1 rep max for ranges of sets of 3 by 2, okay? And I wake up and I'm just like, hey, I'm not feeling 100%. I don't think this is a good idea. I'm going to listen to my body and I'm going to adjust that workout. I am going to change what I'm doing to fit how I feel, because I've learned in the past how my body reacts at this point and at this stage of my life to pushing it too far, not listening to the signs. And since my goal is to not have to deal with injury and constantly recovering from poor decisions, I will adjust what I'm doing. And it's played well for me. It's allowed me to, one, get stronger. It's allowed me to not find myself taking one step forward and 4 steps back because I'm dealing with a bad, an issue with my spine, an issue with my neck or my shoulders. So this falls into a lot of the other ones that I've mentioned. Is your body is going to give you signs. Listen to it. It is not a sign of weakness to divert what you're doing in order to recover and preserve yourself so that you can hit those larger lifts later on. You can always go back to it. You're still working towards it. You're just maybe kind of adding in an extra step, but that extra step is what's going to truly protect you. And now this one isn't some crazy thing that is like, oh, I cracked some code, but recovery. Making recovery a priority in your training, all right? If you go and you're just hard in the paint 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and you're saying, oh, I feel great, I'm perfect, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, so be it. But what you'll find, eventually your body will hit its maximum ability to continue to progress. And all that time that you should have been adding in recovery, which is making sure that you're going to bed at a decent hour. Stop staying up until 10, 11 o'clock at night and then waking up at 5:30 in the morning, right? You need to make sure that you're getting those, 7 to 8, 9 hours of sleep a night. And that's good quality sleep. So if you're struggling with just falling asleep, taking some essential amino acids before you go to bed because it has L-tryptophan in it. That, for most people like myself, it makes me tired. I drink that before I go to bed. I rack out. It's like a sleeping pill. If I feel like I need a little extra oomph with that sleep, I take an ashwagandha, 600 milligrams, right? Now, this stuff can affect everybody a little bit differently, so these are things that you just kind of have to learn to play with by yourself and do. But your food, making sure that you're getting in your protein, that you're not over-consuming carbs, that you're, in a way, timing when you eat, right? Eating too close to bed. If you eat a super heavy carb meal before you go to bed, your body has to do something with that. Carbs turn to glucose in the body, which is going to spike your blood sugar levels, and then you're going to get the insulin, and you're creating energy inside your body that you're not even going to burn off. So if you're struggling with your sleep, there are things that you can make small little choices with, but you have to be able to adjust and see what am I doing and make those changes, and you have to test it. Everything that I've talked about is something that I've tested on myself because I've hit these roadblocks, or I've found myself in these situations where it's like, hey, I don't feel good. So what is it that I'm doing wrong? Because I know I'm training, I know I'm working out, but am I doing too much now at this point in my life? So those are the 5 important things that I've found for myself that I do think that if other people were to kind of take a step back and look at their training, and you are in this rut, take a look at this, go through, see if you're training with deliberate purpose, right? You do have a plan and you are tracking these things. Making sure that you're not training too hard every single time. Going in and giving 110% every day eventually you will fall off. It is a given that you will. So make sure that you're getting in that recovery. You're tracking your meals using MyFitnessPal. It's free. If you feel that your diet is all over the place, track just a normal day. Don't go into it oh, I gotta be specific. Just go in there and put your food that you eat and see what it is that you're eating. If you're eating 500 grams of carbs a day, but those carbs aren't serving you any purpose, it's probably causing you a little bit of stomach bloat. I know, I've done it. I'm in the process right now of kind of trying to revert that because I wasn't really tracking what I was doing. And now that I am and being a little bit more purposeful on my food, I'm already down 2 pounds and I've been tracking my food for a week. That's probably not body fat. That's probably more water weight because carbs make you swell up. So just things to look at. like I said, these are just 5 things that have worked for me, and that I've learned over, everything that we do is things that we learn over a course of time. If you think that any of these work for you, or you've been in the same position and you're kind of in the same spot, leave a comment. If you like this type of video, also leave a comment. Let me know if you want me to do more stuff like this. And basically subscribe, because 85% of people that watch my videos aren't subscribed. I'd love to grow this channel and reach more people as I can. With that said, I appreciate your time, and everybody have a wonderful day.